Hello, it's me James and welcome back to another episode of Simply Survival. This is the series where I like to show you tips, tricks and tutorials, and of course we like to do this in complete survival. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the best iron farm in the Bedrock edition. Now I say this is the best in the Bedrock edition purely for the fact that I've had this same one for a couple of updates. It has not broken, but yeah, as you can see, this thing really does bust out the golems. As I said before, this specific farm has never broken on me, and that is why I like it so much. It has gone through a couple of updates and it is still working to this very day. That being said, let me go ahead and tell you what materials you're gonna need. So for this specific farm, I'm going to be using 20 villagers and 20 beds. This does mean that the production of the rates is going to go up. However, it's completely optional. You can just have one chamber and have 10 beds and 10 villagers, but the production is so much better if you just get those extra 10 villagers. Also, a few extra things that you might want to add. This is purely for decoration. A few chains, a few lights, and some iron bars. Like I say, this is purely for decoration. You're gonna need 20 holder blocks. It doesn't really matter what blocks they are. I'm just gonna use dirt. Bring yourself a couple buckets of water so you can make yourself a source bucket of water. Spawn proof this thing when it's built, we're gonna use oak leaves. Again, it doesn't need to be oak leaves. It can be any leaves that you want. And to fireproof this thing, we're gonna use string. And from further testing on this farm, you don't actually want to use the copper rods. You want to stick with the string. Although the copper rods will stop lightning from hitting your farm, iron golems will unfortunately spawn on them. You're going to need 10 stacks or like just 9 and a bit stacks of white concrete. Again, does not need to be white concrete. Just make sure it's a solid block of choice like cobblestone or stone. I just use the white concrete because it does look a lot better. Also, for the collection tube, I'm going to use glass. Again, that could be concrete, so really you could do with 12 stacks. But I'm just going to use... No! No! What a way to start the video. Oh, the joys of survival tutorials. Like, literally, where did that creeper even come from? Dude. My new rule as well is to fix creeper holes as soon as they've been made. Of course, it would start raining. As I was saying, I'm going to use glass for the collection tube where the iron golems are going to fall down. This is just for decoration purposes. This could actually be white concrete or whatever solid block you have picked. In addition to this, you're going to need 20 oak slabs. Again, if you're only using 10 villagers, you are only going to need 10. Same with the fletching tables. You're going to need 20 fletching tables. Again, fletching tables is a really easy job block to build with, so I would suggest using fletching tables. But remember, if you are only going to use one chamber, then literally only have 10. You're going to need 40 oak trapdoors. It does not need to be oak trapdoors. It can be any trapdoors that you like. I would say this is a very important part of the build. This is going to keep your villagers secure and locked in position. And for the collection system, we have changed it up just a little bit. We're going to go with 4 chests, 8 buttons, 4 hoppers, 3 campfires. We're supposed to have 4 campfires, so I'll just go grab another one, and a bucket of lava. Also, at this point, I'm gonna grab my glass and a couple of the blocks, like so I can get ready for building. So for the first step, all you're going to want to do is grab your chest, place a double chest there, like so, and another double chest there, like so. Grab your hoppers up on top, crouch space, and place all 4 hoppers on top of those chests. Now, before we had a minecart hopper system, but if we use campfires, we can actually just use normal hoppers, which, I mean, it's completely up to you. Both are going to work really, really well. Simply go ahead and place a campfire on every single hopper. Next step, let's go ahead and get our glass blocks and slowly encase all of the campfires, chests, and hoppers. I'm going to miss the corners out just to be a little bit more resource friendly. You're going to want to come 2 blocks above the campfire. At this point, you can actually grab your buttons, place a button here, like so, place a button here, like so, button there, and of course, a button there. Then, simply go up 1 more level with your glass. It's a little bit hard to see because of the smoke. Now, you could add some string to stop the smoke from happening, but for the most part, I'm just going to leave it going. Even if you put the lava on it like this, as you can see, the smoke just continues to go through. Personally, I think that looks kind of cool. That is our collection selection system complete, all we actually need to do is extend the tube a little bit. So let's do that right now. Basically, from this point, all you're going to want to do is add 5 blocks on. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is actually where our floor's going to be. So I'm going to bring all of these to the exact same height. All right, that's looking good. And I have no idea why I'm all the way over here. But yeah, that is looking good. I'm going to go to sleep because, as you can see, it is sunset. So at this point, the next step would be to go 7 blocks out from each direction. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Of course, we're going to do that in every direction. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. At this point, we are going to want to link all of these up just like so. Personally, I would go around the outside first, and then you can fill the middles in once you've got the outskirts complete. At this point, you can go and fill in the middle just like so. And complete. Next step from here, what you are going to want to do is simply grab yourself a temporary block and go around the outside with your solid blocks, like so. Not like that. Just go around the entire outside. Of course, you don't need to add the corners if you don't want. I'm just going to add them. Then, once you've done that once, go ahead and do that once again. Perfect. After this, you want to go to each corner and simply go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each corner, like so. After that, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. So now what we're going to do is think about building our center platform where our villagers is going to live. To do that, I'm going to block up the fires in the middle. This is just going to make sure nothing falls down and we don't have any accidents. From here, I'm going to simply go 1, 2, and 3. And on this level here is where we are going to place our beds. So how I like to do this is simply make myself a square on this level. So once you have your center square like this, you're going to want to think about what direction you want your villagers facing. Me personally, I want to be able to fly on the platform. So I'm going to have my villagers this way. So they will be facing that way and this way. Okay, so I've changed that center for square for dirt purely for the fact I couldn't see very much. So now as I've picked the direction of where I want my villagers to be, we need to think about the bed placement. So I'll try and explain this like the easiest way. As you can see, we have this 4. This would be another bed here, so that would be a bed. That would be a bed. This would be a bed just here. This would be a bed just here. So in total, we've got 4 beds there, and then we could have another bed there, another bed there. That's 5 beds. 6 beds, sorry. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and of course 19 and 20. And you will know if you have your bed platform correct because it's 4 blocks away from the outer wall. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I should mention it's 4 blocks at the longest point as well. So as you can see, this is the longest point. Obviously, this is not the longest point. And this side, it's also 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now it's time to place our beds down. A very important piece of information. Your first bed that you place down must be in the center of this farm. If it's not, you could get iron golems spawning in places we do not want. So yeah, make sure this first bed is going to be directly in the center. Now, of course, we can't have a direct center bed, so we're just going to put it there. That will be center enough. Now we can go ahead and grab our other beds and start to place them in position. I'm simply going to go all the way down the line and then flip the switch. Boom, 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 boom. And make sure I place every single bed. It's important that you do not use these beds to sleep on as well. All right, so we got the final 4 beds being added. And there we go. All the beds are in position. This will make the perfect platform. As you can see, I mean, I've done it so all the beds like line up. And it actually makes a really nice floor. I mean, Tell me that's not a nice floor, right? But of course, we're not going to be using this as a floor. What we can do right now is remove the blocks that are supporting those beds. Remember, it's very important we do not use these beds because we are going to be linking villagers to these. We do not want any villagers delinking or stuff like that happening. Of course, that is going to impact the amount of iron you're going to get as well. If the villagers start to delink, the farm just simply won't work. I literally look down and there's 3 creepers down there. Jeez Louise. How the... Anyway, next step, grab your oak slabs. Of course, you're going to need some temporary blocks as well. In fact, you can go ahead and grab your flexing tables, trapdoors, string, and leaves if you've got enough room in your inventory. Just grab everything right now. Also, your water, that's going to come in handy. And of course, your temporary blocks. What we're going to do now is make our villager pods. This is really simple. I'm going to go ahead and make one first and then show you how to make one, just so it saves a bunch of time in the video. So there we go. I very quickly set up a villager chamber. The dirt that you can see just there is temporary. I have not yet put my water in. I'm going to put the water in so you guys can see it. But first of all, you are going to need to grab yourself a block. This is going to be temporary. You want to go 1 out from this bed. So go 1 and then add an additional block to that block. Both of these are going to be temporary. Go ahead and grab your 10 slabs. Again, you're going to need 20 if you want to. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That was super annoying how I fell off. Next step, grab your 10 temporary blocks and place them on the front. You could use trapdoors or you could just use dirt like I'm doing. It's entirely up to you. Just make sure you use a block that's pretty easy to remove. Trapdoors would make it a little bit more accessible to put the water in, but it doesn't make a difference that bad. I'm going to show you how to do it anyway. So once you've got your temporary blocks on the front, you simply want to add 2 blocks to the side and continue that all the way around. Of course, you don't actually need to add the corners. That is up to you if you want to save some resources. I'm not going to add the corners. I'm simply going to go all the way around like this and skip the corners out. Oh, damn. I keep falling. That's super annoying. I'm just going to remove that corner. So, as I was saying, I'm simply going to add 2 layers of blocks to enclose the villagers or the villager spaces just here. Also, add a row of blocks on top of that temporary row of blocks at the front. Then we're simply going to grab our trapdoors. Now, I've placed down a trapdoor down there just so I could get up. I'm kind of going to need that. Very important that you face the right direction when placing these trapdoors. And to get it right, you want to put your back facing where the villagers are coming from. So, for example, my villagers are in that box just over there. I'm going to put my back towards them and simply crouch space and place 2 trapdoors like so. I'm going to go all the way down the line, placing 2 trapdoors. Again, people might say this is unnecessary. Believe me, this is going to help so much when putting the villagers in. So, once you put all your trapdoors in, open them all up like so. And now we're going to need to make an infinite water source just to fill in the half slabs. Alright, got my water source. I'm simply going to start filling in the half slab. But I am not going to fill the half slab. I know, kind of contradictory, right? I'm going to hit the back wall here purely for the fact sometimes when you hit the half slabs with water, you get a little bit of spillage. So hit the back wall like that and everything stays normal and dry, and we do not get any spillage because of course we do not like spillage on this channel. So remember, we're going to hit that back block, not the half slab. There we go. All chambers are filled with water. Now the reason I have put the water in, this is not actually needed, but the reason I've added it is just in case anything were to happen where villagers did start delinking. The water method always did work and it worked really well, so it's kind of like better be safe than sorry. After you filled your chambers up, you can remove the water source and of course any extra blocks that you've been using to get around. At this point, we are ready to actually start bringing our villagers. First of all, what I'm going to do is go down to every chamber apart from the last one here and close the top trapdoor like so. This chamber here is now ready for a villager to be brought. All I need to do is add a couple pieces of track, which I actually haven't got on me. But whilst I'm going to go get that, I will do some explaining. Basically, I have set up this track, which goes 100 blocks away. It's very important that you set up a villager breeder 100 blocks away. You do not want anything to mess up with this farm. In addition to this, we are going to be bringing our villagers to that farm one villager at a time. With this setup, this will be the easiest way to move villagers around in survival. So, as you can see, this side, I've got a bunch of villagers in there, all crammed in. And I've got this dispenser with a lever set up next to the trapdoors. Now, of course, for whatever reason, the villagers are all cramped down there. So, I mean, I'm going to have to go behind and try and force them this way. Maybe with some water or something. You can literally see they're in the complete opposite corner of where I want them to be. Somehow, I'm trying to place this water down. Oh, god damn, this is crazy. I can't even see anything. No. Okay, so I've added some water, so I now, once I pull this lever, will be able to get my first villager. All I need to do is move out of the way, and I can push him down like so. I'm not really sure why he's not moving. Move. Let's go. One thing I did forget was to add those tracks. I mean, oh well, I can do it when I'm there. I think he stopped just before anyway, which is pretty good. Ah, perfect. Right, I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to want to do this. Let's add these tracks down here, like so. Simply adding them straight in there. He's not going to go past this. This trapdoor is going to stop him from going anywhere. I will show you that right now. So, if I push him, he's going to stop on that trapdoor. Just like so. Once the minecart is trapped by the trapdoor, we are going to remove the minecart. Now, of course, I've only got one minecart on me, so I'm going to try and get that one back. Hopefully, I can, or I'm going to be in trouble. But this guy should literally fall straight down.
Bruh.
Alright, take two. Basically, what I'm going to do this time is remove this, like so. I'm going to slowly, just a tiny little nudge, making sure that that villager is central to your chambers. That is not what I did last time. I simply just broke the minecart. I'm going to make sure this time that that villager is 100% central. I'm going to go like that a bit more and break, and then they will fall in. At this point, you can close that trapdoor, and we're going to want to jump down on the beds like this. Grab our fletching table. Let me remove this temporary block, and simply we're going to remove this dirt and place our fletching table. This is going to allow that villager to actually connect to this fletching table and also have connected to this bed. We're going to need to do this another 19 times. I'm going to show you it one more time because that first time, I mean, it did kind of go a little bit wrong. Simply going to make myself a little track across here, like so. Link the tracks down to that. Make sure every other trapdoor is closed. Now let's go ahead and fetch our next villager. We want to grab ourselves a villager. Perfect. Now, for whatever reason, this guy is still a Fletcher. I'm not 100% sure why. He should have definitely delinked right now. But, I mean, he will probably link to one of those beds. And he might delink. But if he doesn't, we're going to need to make sure he does link up to the next fletching table. So, let's remove these tracks right now. 1 and 2. We're going to make sure he is 100% central. Like I said, the first time, he wasn't central. So, we're just going to go forward. Nudge him a tiniest bit like that, and then go ahead and break it so he falls in like that. Close the trapdoor. Let's go down, and hopefully this guy connects to this fletching table, and we will know if he does connect because you can see those green particles. So that's alright. It doesn't actually matter that he was a Fletcher before. He now has his job block again. What I'm going to do is simply set up that system on the next guy, like so. So now I only have to do it another 18 times. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but using this method of the tracks, it really isn't that much. So yeah, I'll be back after I've added all 18 villagers. Okay, so officially over halfway there now. We need 8 more villagers to bring to our chambers. And all I'm going to do is do this exact same process. So a couple of blocks here, like so. Track it up and bring the villagers. And just as I was to bring this villager, look what happened. We have our first iron golem. Nice. Let's continue to build this, and hopefully we can get him to go down the kill chamber very, very soon. Accidentally, I messed up, and this villager somehow went flying over there. But just as an example, you can see how difficult it is without having this set up. It is so easy setting it up just normally and letting them flow through into the trapdoors. Obviously, because I made a mistake, I had to like try and fix this. Hopefully he goes in now. Perfect. Okay, so I'm at a point now where this is going to be the last villager. I just need to square him up. No. Yeah, go back down. There we go. This guy should, in fact, fall straight in. Perfect. I'm just going to remove any excess tracks, like so. And, of course, any excess blocks as well. I'm just going to make sure that this villager is connected to his job block, like that. And very quickly, damn, yes, I did. I thought I saw another one. We've had 2 iron golems in this thing already. We are pretty much there. All we've got to do now is spawn-proof it and add the water to make everything siphon into the kill chamber. So what you can do is grab your leaves and simply place some leaves around the outside like this. All this is going to do is prevent any mobs from spawning on here. I'm also going to cover up all of the beds like this. This is going to prevent anything from spawning on this platform. It's also going to make a nice little platform for us to stand on. If we didn't have these leaves, we could possibly get iron golems on these beds, which is something that we want to avoid. And of course, we're going to want to surround the villagers with leaves as well, like that. And of course, do that to both sides. And then just to be super safe, let's place a solid block above our villagers' heads and cover those with leaves as well. Let's do the same this side. Cover with leaves. Remove any unnecessary blocks. At this stage, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. We've got our 2 villager chambers with our villagers working away. You may even have some iron golems. Head and place the water now. Grab yourself some solid blocks. You're going to need 4 for each corner and then some temporary blocks. I'm just going to use oak leaves. Each corner is going to need to be set up like this. Place a solid block in the corner. That is going to stay there. Place 3 blocks around that solid block and simply place your water on it like that. Now, you may get a little bit of a glitch, as you can see. So we're going to place a couple blocks in there like that, and it should just fix it up like so. And if you've done that correctly, you should get the water coming in like this. Now I'm going to show you that once more in this corner. So the best way to do this, let's try this by placing the water first. If you place the water first and then place the leaves, I think that's actually the best way to do it. So let me show you just one more time. So you want to go to a corner, place down a solid block, place down a bucket of water, and then get your temporary blocks. Of course, it's going to be a little bit annoying if a cat's there. And place them around that solid block. After you've done that, you can then remove those leaves. At this stage, your water should look a little bit like this. As you can see, we have some kind of shape that has formed in the middle. Now we are to a point where we can actually like get out of the farm. First of all though, let's remove this middle section like so. Perfect. Get it? Perfect. That was a bad joke. And now we shouldn't actually need to go back inside the farm. Simply grab yourself a bunch of buckets. Now the more buckets you have at this point, the faster it will be completed. And all you need to do is go 6 blocks out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course 6. And we're going to place our bucket of water here. We're going to miss one. So miss this one and then place our bucket of water here. And then we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to miss one and place our bucket of water there. Just like that. And from this end, I'm just going to come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course 6. And we're going to place our water there. And we just had an iron golem die and another one spawned straight away. So I mean, wow. You can see how powerful this farm is. Just to be 100% sure about the water situation, you're going to want to count 6 blocks from each corner. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Place a bucket of water. From this block, you're going to want to miss a block and then place another bucket of water just there. Then miss a block, place another bucket of water. Miss a block, place another bucket of water. Miss a block, place another bucket of water. And this block here, if you count from here, should be 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course 6. At the end, you should actually have 4 still blocks of water, like this, as you can see. But these don't really affect it. The only thing that they do is hold the cats for a little while. But this prevents the amount of cats from spawning, which is actually quite decent, to be fair. I mean, I say that as another cat spawns. As I said at the start, I noticed with the copper rods, the iron golems can actually spawn on top of them. So I would get yourself a couple stacks of string and go around the whole farm and add yourself some string. I've done this to every bit of leaf that you can see, and all this is going to do is prevent lightning from hitting it. Of course, you don't want your farm to burn down. Also, one final thing that I have added is a ring of magma blocks around the center, as you can see. All this is doing is preventing 2 iron golems from getting trapped up there. Sometimes 2 iron golems can get trapped there, so I would definitely put those magma blocks there straight away. So I've AFK'd this for a little while, and to be honest with you, this thing is actually OP. Now in this chest, I only have 59 iron ingots, but in this chest, look at that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 stacks. So, I mean, yeah, this thing is definitely worth building. Again, it does seem like a little bit of a long build, but it is definitely worth it. After building it, you will no longer need iron in your world. So, that is literally all I've got time for today. I will catch you on the next one.